Hey guys, welcome back. So in the last video we saw how to traverse a circular double linked list. Hope the concept was clear. Now in this video let's see how to reverse traverse a circular double linked list. Now what do we mean when we say reverse traverse? What that means is we start from the last node and keep traversing towards left until we reach the first node. So every time we visit the node, we print its value. So let's say if this is our linked list and we want to do a reverse traversal, then we first visit node number 4, print its value which is 40, then go to node 3, print its value which is 30, go to node number 2, print its value 20, go to node number 1, print its value 10. Now since node 1 is the first node, we terminate the loop. Else by mistake we can always go over back to node 4 and unnecessarily get stuck in an infinite loop. Fine. So I hope you have understood how to reverse traverse a circular double linked list. Now let's see how does the algorithm for this looks like. So the algorithm is very simple. The name of the method is reverse traverse linked list. First of all, we see that if head double is equal to null, then we simply return. That means if there are no nodes in the list, then there is no question of traversing. Else we create a loop from tail to head. That is, we start from the last node, keep traversing till we reach the first node. And every time we visit any node, we print its value. So the algorithm is extremely same as what we have seen in case of traversal of circular double linked list in previous video. The only difference is this time we are traversing from tail to head instead of head to tail. Fine. So I hope you have understood how does reverse traversal works. Now let's see what is the time and space complexity of this algorithm. So to compare if head is equal to null or not is a constant time operation. Looping from tail to head essentially means we have to visit each and every node out there. So the time complexity becomes order of n. Printing a value is a constant time operation. Now if we add all these three, we get time complexity of order of n. Now the space complexity once again remains order of 1 because we use some temporary variables to do loop and other works, but that is again not in proportion to the size of the list. Hence the space complexity becomes order of 1. So with that we come to end of this video. In the next video let's learn how to search for a given value in a circular double linked list.